I'm Sandra Cattell, and I'm with the Sierra Club. And I'm really glad to be here tonight because, first of all, I wanted to let you know that the Sierra Club has endorsed Lee Rogers, has endorsed Ed Headington, and our resources will be made available to work with them. I got a very interesting phone conference a couple of weeks ago. The Sierra Club has worked with other environmental organizations, and we are supporting Barack Obama. So the environmental community is coming together. One of the biggest environmental issues of our Santa Clarita Valley is the Cemex mine and all of the health hazards and traffic, unmitigatable traffic conditions it would cause, the damage to the environment. It's just a terrible, terrible project, and we're really glad that the Democrats are behind us and working on, I shouldn't say behind us because I'm a Democrat too, but that we're all working together for this common goal in Santa Clarita. Environmental organizations, business organizations, and the city of Santa Clarita are working together. And the Sierra Club is a partner with Safe Action for the Environment, which really has spearheaded the movement to stop Cemex.
Well, Sandra, thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Andy Freed, and I've been here before. I appreciate the invitation to come back. Minerva, thank you. I'm president of Safe Action for the Environment, Inc. Sandra, thank you for your very kind words. We have been involved in this opposition since late 1999, and we're dealing with 2 federal contracts that date back to the very, very early 90s. This thing has been shuttled back and forth between 3 different companies. Cemex actually bought the previous company that held the contracts, so it's difficult to accuse them for starting this thing. They bought something that they really felt was well on its way to being permitted. What we're dealing with here, excuse me, you've all heard the details any number of times. It's been in the Signal, it's been on the radio station website, it's been on SAFE's website, it's been on the Sierra Club's website. What a lot of people don't understand, and we're trying to get out the message, is this isn't just 20 years of mining. This is probably more like 100 years of mining because of the way the BLM releases as the mining contracts start to expire. Also, aggregate has a tendency to follow the riverbeds, and it does just that. It follows the Santa Clara River all the way up to Acton, where the river starts. And so Cemex, even though they hold contracts to mine now, is not the only company potentially interested in mining along Soledad Canyon. There is another company that holds 1,200 acres and is already mining just above Sand Canyon, still Gillibrand mine. And it's very, very active. And this same company owns almost 400 mining sites or potential mining sites within the national forest, way beyond where they're mining now. So we're not just trying to stop Cemex from mining, we're trying to stop a cancer from getting started that would just continue to metastasize all the way up Soledad Canyon, turning this area into a larger mining area than Azusa and Irwindale. What can you do to help? SAFE has sponsored a website in partnership with the Care 2 people up in Northern California. It's an international site. I've got flyers with me. My wife has got them. We'll make sure that anybody who wants to have one gets one. It's got the website address. You can just go to SAFE's new website, and it'll give you the option of going to the petition, which we would really appreciate. It's easy to deal with. It would also give you the option of picking one of 3 letters, which will then be sent to Boxer, Feinstein, and McKeon. The letters can be modified in some way. You can add your own comments, which would be great. The whole idea here is to let the legislators know in no uncertain terms that we do not want this thing to get started here, because once it once it does get started, there isn't going to be any stopping it, and it's going to destroy our quality of life. It's an environmental holocaust, and it's a logistical disaster. Thank you. I really appreciate your time.
Another action that we can take is we can elect people that will work for the environment and to protect people.
Allan, you told me when you first came in there was another situation that's coming up on Tuesday, and that's with the City Council. Can you tell us what that is?
First,
Don't
finish my swallow. Anyone who's not familiar with Cemex, please raise their hand. Good. Congressman McKeon is working actively against our community, period. It isn't that he's doing nothing. He is proactively attempting to defeat the mine legislation and allow the mine to proceed. A few weeks ago, in the Signal newspaper, and this is almost a word-for-word quote, he said, "Having a large mine operate in Soledad Canyon wouldn't be the worst thing in the world." Well, 110 organizations disagree with that. 105 elected officials disagree with that. Tuesday, this is 99% certain, the city of Santa Cruz is going to do something unprecedented. They're going to adopt a motion, a resolution, I'm not sure which. The agenda wasn't up just before I arrived. It'll probably be up by tomorrow morning. But on that agenda, they're going to adopt some kind of resolution stating that in this congressional term, our congressmen should actively introduce companion legislation to Senator Boxer's bill. Now, that is extraordinary that the city would directly confront the treacherous inaction that has occurred thus far. So what can occur Tuesday is if a lot of our residents, and I'll ask you to show your hand here in a moment, can attend the meeting, address that agenda item, and say to the city, yes, we want you to adopt this resolution, and these are our televised meetings. They go out to thousands of Santa Cruz Valley residents who view them on live TV, and then view them when they're broadcast later on in the coming week. Address the agenda item and say, please adopt this resolution, and Congressman McKeon, get off your scrawny you-know-what and do what you were elected to do, or words of your own choosing. So please attend the meeting. Please make that representation to the City Council, and more importantly, to the citizens of our community who will be watching on television. Could you raise your hand if you could attend the meeting on Tuesday? The meeting begins at about 6 o'clock, and the opportunity to say this is probably twofold. You could probably address it under public comment, though you might be remonstrated because you're supposed to talk to the agenda items. If you have to leave, you can probably talk about it under public comment. Or, I haven't seen it yet, you can look on the website, when the actual agenda item addressing the resolution is up, you could then sign up to speak to that. So again, can you attend the meeting? If you raise your hand, that would be great. Santa Clarita City Hall. And then if you arrive and locate the agenda item, sign up and just say, adopt it, and McKeon, do the right thing. So in conclusion, that if you can't attend, if you could send an email supporting, if you could send a letter to the Signal newspaper saying, congratulations, city, condemning McKeon for his passivity and his actual working against us, that would be extremely helpful.
Allan, under the city's new protocol, we can't discuss an issue during public comment that's agenda.
Oh, that's right. You could probably get away with it. It would be interesting if you signed up and started to talk about it, if someone would call you on it. If you can, Annie is correct, if you can stay to the actual agenda item, that would be far superior. But if someone actually said, no, you can't talk about that now, you can say, oh, I'm so sorry. Please pass this, McKeon, do your job. Sit down. So any other questions? Yes?
Yes, I heard you refer to Barbara Box's bill. What exactly does that bill say?
Thank you, Brett. Briefly, it's a remarkably creative bit of legislation that, without adding a penny to the federal deficit, without taking any money away from the current budget, it resolves the mining crisis permanently. It makes sure that we do not have this horrible, horrendous mine, the largest mine ever proposed to the Bureau of Land Management in the United States history. Number two, it also does not transfer the mining holocaust to the Victorville, Barstow area. And it's very sophisticated in what it does. It pays Cemex off through the sale of land that has been on the for sale list for many, many years. The bill is on the SAFE website that Andy Freed mentioned. You can read it there, but it's very, very clever. Senator Boxer, God bless her, introduced it. McKeon is saying, I can't do that. Why? Because the guy I asked to not allow me to introduce it took my advice and told me I can't introduce it. Manning Doc Hastings in Washington. Hopefully, Dr. Rogers will be able to attend and take advantage of this opportunity. I don't know if we can or not. Any other questions?
I have a question. Does anyone know why McKean is doing this? I mean, is it because he's had donations, or
Yes.
or is that the reason? It's just a donation issue.
Probably.
Because Maverick gave him like $6,900, and
Right.
he did the deal for them.
Right.
We just do a fundraiser, maybe raise, just buy our way in.
Yeah, we should get an announcement. Attention Walmart shoppers, Congressman for sale.
But really, I mean,
Money,
but honestly, what is it going to take?
It's going to take electing this man,
Okay.
ultimately.
Amen.